What's going on, everyone? This is Popular Paxton here, and I'm here to give a few updates about what I'm currently doing and what I hope to be getting done in the near future, like particularly over the summer. So let's go ahead and hop right in. So it's been about pretty much a month since my last story, which was Harvey Proves His Worth. And I've been wanting to get back to stories, but I've just kind of been struggling to make a decision. Not really on what story am I wanting to make next, but what kind of series I want to work on. So, as of right now, the stories I've been releasing are part of a new, what I call reality series, where it's basically just takes place in the actual Thomas universe, called Thomas's Solar Adventures. That's the name of the series I'm currently doing. But I've been trying to decide. I mean, most people have been wanting this to happen for a while, but I've been wanting to try to make a reboot of my last series that I did when I first started this channel, which that series is called Medieval Misadventures. And in case any of you haven't heard of that, or you're maybe new to the channel, Medieval Misadventures was a series that I did for a few years. It lasted about 4 seasons, with a total of 30 episodes actually, with several movies. Some of them particularly being about my original truck characters. One big thing that was easy to remember the series by was that the trucks, there were good trucks and there were bad trucks. But the trucks had several different methods of being able to move along the rails on their own. There were a few different methods to that, but it was definitely a one-of-a-kind series, I guess is what I can say. And so, ever since the series ended, not right as soon as the series ended, but people have been wanting Medieval Misadventures to return for a while, and I would like to try to do a reboot. I mean, I started a brief reboot one time, but it didn't last very long. But I'm trying to see if I can make a reboot, but it's just going to be a little easier said than done, because I don't want to like repeat the events of what happened in the previous version. And yeah, it's just easier said than done, like I said. I do have, okay, for my current series, Thomas's Solar Adventures, I do have some ideas for some more stories. There's like a couple of average, everyday stories, I guess I could call them. But some stories that I'm maybe wanting to try to do in the near future are based around the Great Railway Show. This is just like how Thomas Wonder Railway did season 15 of his Wonder Railway series, where it was mainly themed around the Great Railway Show happening on the mainland, and there were international engines on Sodor hanging around, and there were engines competing in the competitions. And yeah, these stories will pretty much be similar to those. It's basically just a bunch of stories that are based around the Great Railway Show. But what I'm trying to decide right now is, do I want these stories to happen in the Thomas's Solar Adventures series, or would I possibly consider having them be the start of the reboot of Medieval Misadventures? One other thing I almost forgot to mention, well, two things really, about Medieval Misadventures for those who never heard of it. Besides the trucks being able to move around on their own, two other big things about the series was that, one, the railways were divided into kingdoms. So like the Solar Railway was called the Solar Kingdom. There was the Furnace Railway, which was the Furnace Kingdom, and so on and so on. And another important thing was that there were no humans in that series. So no Sir Topham Hatt, no Mr. Percival, no drivers, no workmen, no firemen, no passengers. Even though there were coaches, but there were no humans at all. So yeah, anyways, as I was saying before, I'm trying to decide if these stories that revolve around the Great Railway Show will possibly happen in the reboot of Medieval Misadventures, or if they can happen in the Tom Solo Adventures series. And besides those Great Railway Show stories, I would also wonder if those remaining average everyday stories that I currently still plan to do, I would wonder if they would also be part of the Medieval Misadventures reboot. So I'm pretty much trying to decide what I want to do, even though I haven't been taking a whole lot of time to do it because I've been focusing on other things, some things that are like important in my life, other things that I just do for fun. Making train videos, I've said this a few times in the past, but it's kind of decreased in like how often I do it, but I still want to do it because it's one of my passions and I just like to keep doing it for as long as I can. So anyways, as I was saying, I'm trying to decide which series I want to make these remaining stories in. I mean, I do like doing some regular reality Sodor Island railway stories, like what I'm currently doing with Tom Solo Adventures. I guess I also would say that I like having introduced Bruno, the autistic brake fan, and having there be a bunch of original truck characters, like this one was one of them. A bunch of original truck characters that are also autistic. So, yeah, I mean, that is a cool thing that I made as part of the series, having Bruno have autistic truck friends that are also friendly like him. But I would really like to make others happy by bringing back Medieval Misadventures as a reboot. The question, like I keep saying though, is do I want to do these currently remaining story ideas in the reboot, or should I do them in Tom Solo Adventures? Because, I mean, there's nothing terribly wrong with possibly stopping the series after Harvey proves his worth, but I just wouldn't want to necessarily end the series way too soon just to go back to Medieval Misadventures. It is true that I can try to do both Tom Solo Adventures and Medieval Misadventures simultaneously, but it would just kind of be a bit of a problem trying to decide what stories are best fitted for a fantasy series that takes place in kingdoms where there are no humans, just engines and rolling stock, and road vehicles too. But would I want to do my remaining and new stories from now on in the reboot, or should they happen in two different series simultaneously? So if you guys can help me try to figure this out if you want. I mean, just post a comment saying which series do you prefer, and if you want one series over the other, or if you'd like to see me work on both, just let me know so it can help me make some decisions sooner than later. Anyways, that's pretty much going to do it for this update video. So, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you guys soon with new stories.